My dear Christian, I will talk on a very important topic. Watching this video and achieving what I will say now is very important. Watching this video and achieving what I will say now is a matter of life or death. Watching this video from the beginning to the end is a matter of life or death. And the last part in the video is the most important part in the video. But you have to hear all the video that you can hear the last part in the video. And I'm sure if you hear me with your heart, my talking will penetrate your heart, because most of Christians are not arrogant, are not proud. If they know the correct way, they walk in the correct way. And if they hear the correct advice, they follow the correct advice. I will talk about very great and incredible scientific miracles in the Holy Quran and Sunnah, and also I will make very important spots about very important points in your books. Hear me for your benefits for 7 minutes or 8 minutes. And here's the last part of the video. The Holy Quran said in chapter number 27, in verse number 47, and we constructed the heaven with strength and indeed, and we will keep expanding. God said that. And we constructed the heaven in the Holy Quran, and we constructed the heaven with strength and indeed, and we will keep expanding. Which means that God said that He will keep expanding the heaven. The recent science proved that the heaven expands with a very high velocity, which it reaches 30,000 light years every 1 second, because there are 275 million stars are created or born every day. For that, the heaven has to be expanded to accommodate these huge numbers of stars. And if the heaven doesn't expand, the universe will be burst. How the Prophet Muhammad knew this very important fact from more than 1,400 years, and he was an illiterate man, can read and can write. How he knew that the heaven expands? Did he say that from himself? Did he say that from himself, or the God inspired that to him and teach him that? In the opposite side, you said in your books that the God created the 7 heavens and the 7 grounds in 6 days, and then he got very tired. For that, he gave himself a rest, a break on Saturday. At Saturday, is that logic? Is that reasonable to say about the God who have unlimited power, that he got tired after creating the heaven and the sky? How dare you to say that? How to believe that? Another very great miracle, the Prophet Muhammad said in the hadith, if the fly fall in the vessel, dip all of it and then remove it. Then remove it. That one of its wings is a disease and the other is a treatment. The recent science proved that one of the wings of the fly contains antibiotics. For that, the Prophet Muhammad ordered us, if the fly fall in the vessel, to dip all of it and then remove it. When you dip all of it, it will drop these antibiotics from the second wing, and it will kill the parasites which fall from the first wing, and it will pure and clean the vessel. There are more than great study in USA and Australia proved this very important fact, and now they produce antibiotics from the body of the fly for the treatment of many diseases. How the Prophet Muhammad knew that from more than 1,500 years? Very great miracle, which pushes hundreds of Christians to convert to Islam. In the opposite side, you said on your books that the great prophet Dawood saw a woman while she was taking a shower. She was naked. He loved her. She was the wife of his big leader Uriah. He makes sex with her and he betrayed his big leader Uriah. And he made the big sin adultery with the married woman. And he put Uriah, the husband of this woman, in a specific place in the army to make him killed, to get rid of his wife, or to put his hand on his wife. Is that logic? The great prophet Dawood betrayed his big leader Uriah with his wife, and makes the big sin adultery with her. How dare you to say that and to believe that in your books? To insult the great prophets in your books. But this is your book, which you don't know who wrote these facts. Another very great miracle in our books. The Prophet Muhammad said in the hadith, every human being is created about 360 joined, and he has to offer every day a charity or donation for every joint. His friend said to him, it is too hard to make that. He said to them, if you pray 2 rakas in the early morning, it will be equivalent for all that. The recent science proved that every one of us is created about 360 joined, like Muhammad said, from more than 1,400 years. How he knew that? Very great miracle. In the opposite side, you said in your books that the son of the great prophet Dawood makes sex with his sister. She was very beautiful. He said to her, I want to sleep with you. She said to him, how much you will pay to me? and he paid to her money and he makes sex with her. Is that logic? And when the great prophet Dawood knew that his son makes sex with his sister, with his daughter, he got very angry, but he doesn't punish him because he was loving him, and he knows that he will inherit the prophecy from him, which means he insults the great prophet Sulaiman. How dare you to say about that the son of the great prophet Dawood makes sex with his sister? Is that logic? But this is your books. Another very great miracle in our book. The God said in Surah An-Najm, in verse in chapter number 27, in verse number 45 and 46, and he created the two mates, the male and the female, from a sperm drop when it is emitted. And he created the two mates, the male and the female, from a sperm drop when it is emitted, which means that the God said from more than 1,400 years that he created the two types of fetus, male or even male or female, from the sperm of the man. The recent science proved that the sperm of the man controls the type of fetus, if it male or female, and there is no relationship between the egg of the woman and the type of fetus. It was well known until a few years ago that the egg of the woman controls the type of fetus, until the recent science proved that the sperm of the man controls the type of fetus. There are two types of sperms, feminine sperm and male sperm. If the feminine sperm fertilizes the egg of the woman, the fetus will be female. And if the male sperm fertilizes the egg of the woman, the fetus will be male. But the Prophet Muhammad and the Holy Quran says that from more than 1,000 very great miracle which pushes hundreds and hundreds of Christians to convert to Islam. In the opposite side, you said in your books that the great Prophet Lot drink wine until he got drunk, and he makes sex with his daughters and he makes them pregnant from him. Is that logic? The great Prophet Lot makes sex with his daughters and makes them pregnant from him. How dare you to say that? But this is your book. Another very great miracle in our book. The God said in Surah Al-An'am, in chapter number 8, in verse 125. In verse number 125, whoever Allah wants to guide him to Islam, he make his breast or his chest expand to contain Islam. And whoever Allah wants to misguide him, he make his chest or his breast tighted and constricted as though as is climbing in the sky. This is an example for the people who don't want to believe. Which means that the God give an example for the people who don't want to convert to Islam. They are the people like the people who are climbing in the sky, and they will feel suffocated because there is no oxygen. The recent science proves that the percentage of oxygen decreases in the upper layers of the sky. How the Prophet Muhammad knew that? Very great miracle. How he knew that the percentage of oxygen decreases in the sky. Very great miracle which pushes hundreds of Christians to convert to Islam. In the opposite side, you said in your books that the great prophet, that the God settled down from the sky and he walked in the ground and he meet the great prophet Yaqub and said to him, the great prophet Yaqub said to the God, can you fight me? He said to yes, I can fight you. The great prophet Yaqub fighted the God and defeated him, and he held him from his clothes and said to him, I will not leave you climb in the sky unless you called me Israel. He said to him, okay, you are Israel. Is that logic? The great prophet, the God who have unlimited power, beat it and with a human being, although he is a prophet. How dare you to say about the God? But this is your book. Another very great miracle in our book. The non-believers said to the Prophet Muhammad, if you're really a prophet from God, split this moon for us into two parts and we believe you and support you. He said to them, can you give me a charter, a strong promise about that? He said, yes, we'll give you a promise. He prayed to God and the moon has split it into two parts. But they said to him, no, you charmed us with magic. This is magic. He said to them, why you broke your promises with me? I achieved what you want. He said, no, it is magic. He said, okay, there are messengers will come after 2 days, we can ask them. If they saw which you saw, this means that it is not a magic. They said, okay. Because you know that the magic affects only the people in front of you, but doesn't affect the people far away from you. The messengers came after 2 days and they said, we saw a very strange thing. We thought that the moon has split it into two parts, and he was astonished. What is the matter? But the non-believer said to him, no. Your magic is very strong. It goes for a long way. For that, the God settled down in Surah Al-Qamar in chapter number 27 in verse number 1 and 2. The last day has been soon, and the moon has split it. And if they saw a great miracle, they don't believe. And they said it is a strong magic. And this is always the character of the non-believers. They ask for a great miracle, although they know that this man is a prophet, and then they broke their promises because they are arrogant and liars. And I hope you are not like these people. When the instruments dropped on the surface of the moon, they found a very long crack dividing the moon. The length of this crack is 125 kilometers, and the width of this crack is 1,500 meters, and the depth of this crack is 1,500 meters. Very long, very huge crack. They was astonished because they never saw a crack like this in the ground. They make studies about this crack. They found that this crack impossible to come as a result of earthquake or volcano or any other thing. And one of the scholars of NASA agency in USA said that our studies proved that the moon has broken in the past and then it's sealed another time, which prove without any doubt that the God has split the moon for his prophet for more than 1,500 degrees. And I will put under this video the video of the scholar and the image which contains the crack in the moon. I will put 9 great miracles provided with links to prove what I said. All these miracles is a drop in a big sea from hundreds and hundreds of great miracles in the Quran and Sunnah, which pushes hundreds of Christians to convert to Islam every day. 50,000 Christians converted to Islam in Egypt every 1 year, and 5 Christians converted to Islam every one hour because of these miracles. If you don't until now believe that this whole Quran is from God, I'm sorry to say to you that you are arrogant. Because if I told you to look at the sun in the sky and you told me that you don't see anything, this means that you are arrogant or you are blind. Because you have to know that the strength and the greatness of the miracles in the Quran and Sunnah is stronger than the light of the sun in the sky. And you have to know that the whole Quran, which contains all these miracles, said in Surah Ali Imran in chapter number 3 in verse number 85. Any person will accept any religion unless Islam will not be acceptable from him, and he will be from the big losers in the last day. And the Prophet Muhammad said in the hadith, I swear with whom my soul is in his hand, any person hear about me, Jewish or Christian or any other religion, and don't believe me and don't believe the religion I came with, he will be one of the hell people. You will be one of the fire people. You will fall in fire and you will never come out of it. Don't destroy yourself. Don't lose the paradise. You will fall in fire and you will never get, and you will be present in fire and you will never come out of it. You will bite your fingers in the last day and you will cry, but you will not cry with tears. You will cry with blood, and you will remember what I say now, and you will blame yourself because you don't obey me. But the time will be off and the door will be closed, and you will hope to return to the life for 1 second to convert to Islam, but the time will be off and the door will be closed. I have finished what I want to say. Drop under this video and read all the miracles which I have written and press the links to make sure of what I have said. And after that, you don't have any excuse, and you will be the killer of yourself if you don't convert to Islam.